Hey everyone, Andrew the Video Guy here at Garvey Hyundai, and it seems like just a week ago that I was telling you about the IONIQ 5 and how it's been after having it here for a year. Actually, it was a week ago, and the day that that came out, we started to get the IONIQ 6 here in stock at Garvey Hyundai, and I'm really excited to show it to you. I think we're going to do it a little bit different because I want to show you from your point of view what you're going to see when you step into Hyundai's all-new electric Streamliner sedan. The IONIQ 6 cuts such a different profile from the IONIQ 5. Whereas the IONIQ 5 has this retro-futuristic look, what we pictured that the future might look like in the 80s, the IONIQ 6 is what we pictured future cars might look like back in the 60s. It's got this Art Deco kind of look. It's all very streamlined and rounded off, kind of Jetsons-y in a really positive way. The way that the belt line starts low, comes up and drops low again, gives it a drag coefficient of 0.22, which is, I believe, tied for best on the market in North America. Turn on the four ways here so we can see that the lighting elements still carry over the parametric pixel design that is the signature of the IONIQ design language. All of these little blocks that are actually 3D elements in here for the turn signal, as well as in back. When the headlights are on, this whole strip back here illuminates, and the upper spoiler back here actually lights up in its entirety as the third brake light. So there's a lot of care and attention put into the lighting of the vehicle. That's going to carry through inside as well. Speaking of inside, let's hop in. When you're handed the key to the IONIQ 6, you notice that the key fob looks different from what we've had before in the past, and a great little Easter egg actually of the Hyundai logo hidden right in the key fob itself. So let's unlock, and of course we see the door handles coming out, much the same as on the IONIQ 5. Again, we'll unlock. They're hidden away for that drag coefficient while driving, but make it really easy to get into the car. Okay, we are inside the IONIQ 6 now, so let's start it right up. And if you've been inside an IONIQ 5, it's going to look very familiar to you. The instrument cluster up here is similar, as is entertainment over here. With nothing on right now, we've got 93% battery and 297 miles available to us. This particular vehicle has just over 300 miles of range. This is an all-wheel drive model. If you get the long-range rear-wheel drive, the IONIQ 6 can have up to 361 miles of range. Obviously, things like climate will impact this, so it's a little cold today. We'll turn on the heat. And we do see that estimate drop down to 282. I do appreciate that that shows in real time. Another way that the car communicates with the driver is with the pixels on the steering wheel right here. Now, people will say that they took away the Hyundai logo, but actually they changed it. Instead of the Hyundai H on the front, like that, we've got the 4 dots, which of course is H in Morse code, but this can tell you so much more. These dots will tell you charge state. They will tell you when you are charging, what that's looking like. So if you're inside the car, you can see that at a glance. It can communicate a lot of other things to you as well. So I really like that lit up right there. And more with lighting, you look at the door here and it's got a lot going on with texture, but there's no window, no lock controls on here. This was done to increase cabin size so that they could really push this out this way, as well as to have lighting on this. There's actually 2-zone lighting on the door here. You can have different colors, top and bottom, which unfortunately doesn't show that well in the daylight, but looks great at night. Those controls have instead been relocated to the middle right here. So we've got lock and windows all right there and easily accessible. I really like the interior of the IONIQ 6. There's a lot going on here. And you know, they set it up to kind of be this place that you can exist. And so even if you are sitting there charging for a little bit, you can get work done, you can relax. This shelf in the middle here has raised bits on the side. And they intentionally made it so that you can set a laptop here and work while you're charging, while you're sitting in your IONIQ 6. It is a space for you and your productivity and your relaxation. Now I do want to take one more moment. We did get 3 more IONIQ 6s in today, and although all 3 of these are spoken for, I wanted to take an extra moment and look at this one in particular for 2 reasons. Number 1, we see how the black looks. With the lighter colors that we had, we've got this darker stripe down here, which kind of helps to make the look more sleek. With the battery pack on the bottom, then it helps to just kind of streamline it a bit. But with the black car over here, it still isn't going to get left out. That ends up being a lighter accent note on the bottom that comes around into the bumper at the back and ends up just being a really nice accent for the vehicle. But more importantly, I would say this one is a limited, so we can see a couple extra features that the high-end trim has. You see how the dark interior looks. I really like the seats and the accent on that. We've got a sunroof up here that is currently closed at the moment, but lets in a lot more light, especially with the darker interior. It helps to open that up a little bit more. And in the back here, along with showing all of the space that backseat passengers do have, we're able to actually look right down here and see a 120 volt vehicle to load outlet. I mentioned using your laptop earlier, it's going to power that. During testing, they ran a fridge for 5 hours with barely any loss of battery. You know, it's great for a camping vehicle. There's just a lot of utility in this car. So that's a point of view, first person look at the all new Hyundai IONIQ 6 available right here at Garvey Hyundai. Again, some of these are spoken for, but we've got one over there that's available, and we've got more coming in. It seems like every day this week. It's amazing. So if this wasn't enough, if you want to actually see it with your own eyes, give us a call, go online, or stop into Garvey Hyundai and ask about the all-new IONIQ 6 today.